Hey, I always wanted to be on the Truman Show. It's like, you know, in movies there's scenes where someone just eats dinner and they're alone. And if you're handsome, you can get away with it. If I was a bit fat, weird guy, it'd be different. You should see some of the live videos. There's people sleeping. And I'll have like 500 people on there. And they'll just be like making sound effects. That was a good laugh. Yeah, but you know, I made an hour and a half live today. And I was getting very deep. I was getting very philosophical. And I used so much energy, I was exhausted. And I was like, I can't believe I did that. For like, I interacted with about 4 people. And I just put all this effort into it. I was like, hi! Action!
Okay, continue.
Now, when you go to the gym, you don't really want to have alcohol. Because alcohol screws up your body. I mean, it's okay to have a glass of red wine 1 or 2 days a week. But that's it. One of the reasons why people are so fucked up these days is because of alcohol and the abuse. And what's the point of going to the gym 6 days a week if you're gonna poison yourself? I poison myself with caffeine instead. My wife made me laugh. I read somewhere that when you mix green vegetables with heavy protein, it actually helps to absorb the protein. Like your body actually breaks down the amino acids more comprehensively when you mix it with the spinach and the snow peas. So it's actually economical to mix vegetables, particularly greens, with meat. And I don't trust this whole carnivore movement because Jordan Peterson does it, and I don't trust her because I don't trust her dad. He's too emotional to get involved in politics. When he said give them hell about the Palestinians, what he's inferring is that any response is warranted due to the October 7th attack, when the circumstances about the October 7th attack wasn't really clarified yet. And when you're using your platform to promote war strategies, you have to be very careful with your emotions. And Jordan Peterson, she is talking about this carnivore diet and how she beat her health issues, but all throughout her youth she was on antidepressants and Adderall, which is like a legal form of methamphetamine. And she wondered why she had side effects, and also she looked like she didn't do any exercise. And her dad had all of this Russian Soviet artwork on the walls, that kind of promoting fear-mongering. So I'd be stressed out too if I was Jordan Peterson. I'm not voting for anyone in the election because I believe the entire system is rigged and there's only ever the option of 2 parties, and it gives the illusion of choice. It's like if my parents said you have to choose between these two women to marry, I would choose none, because I'd rather have nothing. Because when you submit, when you actually make an agreement, you're basically submitting and saying that you're going with the flow. But if everyone refused to vote, then I'd actually have to have a candidate who speaks for the people. It's like a lot of things in life. It's all about registering when you say yes, when you make any decision, that speaks 1,000 words. It's like if the police have sent you a letter about your license being suspended, that's all they need to do, because they've sent you a letter, and so it's up to you to open your mail. And so if you put your address down, if you have an address, then you've submitted that you're contactable. And so if you don't check that, then that's on you, because you've already agreed to being contacted by the authorities. Yeah, but this isn't a real democracy. This isn't a real democracy because the candidates are so similar. When the candidates are so similar, there's no real choice, is there? They're both two sides of the same coin, and the independents haven't got a chance. The system is rigged, and they're both obsessed with war and their egos, and so I'd rather take a $100 fine. I'm on the trip of life, AM. I mean, if I had to vote for anyone, it'd be Gerard Rennick. I mean, he's not perfect, but at least he's calling out the issues with the big banks and issues like the superannuation being used for investments offshore. There's no benefit to Australian soil. I don't agree with superannuation because it makes you pay off your house a lot later. And so the banks like that because then they get more interest off you. Well, that may be a gift. Maybe that means you have a touch of clairvoyant skills. Maybe you're blessed. I would say the meaning of life is to do your part to try and make the world a slightly better place for the next generation, whether that be through your craft, through love, through honesty. Do whatever it takes, and that means following your ancestors, doing things like having a beautiful family, being strong, being healthy, being fruitful. And things kind of fall into place when you do that. You get all these doors opened for you when you just have in your mind little things like when you're on a nature walk and you, even if you're feeling really tired and a bit glum, you just do a very slight smile at people as they walk past, just try and do your part. And I feel like eventually it becomes second nature, and then good things come your way. And it's to try and better yourself, and I like to use the 7 deadly sins as an example, things not to do, because I can fall victim to gluttony, laziness, lust, pride, and I think that's pretty good guides of not what to do. And what to do, I feel like things like try and master a craft, whatever that may be. Master a craft and be the strongest, most honest version of yourself that you can be, and loving. And hopefully that can improve on my parents a little bit, because they improved a lot from their parents, and maybe my children can have a better life than me, and then their kids can benefit. How do you like that answer, Iggy? Would you die without regrets, knowing you made life better for future generations? Well, I think I could die now without regrets, because I've made such excellent TikToks, that that when my kids are in their early 20s, or my daughter, they can watch them and learn a lot about me. Yeah, well, to be honest, I'll die with regrets if I don't think I've reached my potential. That's like my wife's biggest fear too. I asked her, like, when we first started dating, like 10 years ago, what's your biggest fear in life? And she would say it's not reaching her potential, not like a flower that just doesn't get enough nutrients and enough sunshine, so it has the capability of blossoming and being a wonderful, beautiful flower that provides nectar for all of the bees. But just because it's slightly in the shade, it's just kind of stunted. It's a bit of a sad flower. It's not a big, beautiful sunflower with hundreds of seeds. And I think I have a lot of potential. But then again, I may just die in war. I might get enlisted, and next year to go to Iran. I never know. If you only live once, why not just make the most out of it and party 24/7? Well, because I know people that did that, and all these... my wife's not a fan of hearing the life. She's gone to bed. Because it's not fulfilling, and I've done partying before, and I think it feels better. It feels right. I sleep better at night doing things like trying to be honest and start a business and look after my family, and being physically fit and spiritually fit and emotionally fit. Just things kind of fall into place, and I feel like the interactions with people seem a little more genuine. And I am big on media analysis, and I feel like this illusion of partying is actually not as good as you think it is. I mean, even millionaires have like 100 million in their bank, and they do coke and booze and strippers. Eventually, cocaine stops working, and the booze, you need to have a bottle of rum just to feel slightly tipsy. You have sex with 100 models, it all starts to look the same. It's all pink in the middle. And if you look at the pagan religion, which most of Anglo-Saxon Europeans used to follow before Christianity, Bradley wants to get banned for life. He's gone, never to come back. That's what you get for wasting my time. Yeah, well, Iggy, that's your right to believe that, but I beg to differ. When you party on weekends, it still takes away your spirit. You can party on celebrations, like in weddings. You just got to drop promotion, just had a baby. You can party then, but if you do it every weekend, I still think that keeps you on this hedonistic treadmill. And what it does, the worst thing, when you just get drunk on weekends, that's still a form of addiction. And what the problem is with that is that you're willing to do things your heart doesn't believe in when you have that thing to look forward to. So when you have this chemical satisfaction, it enables you to live a life in a shadow because you've got this illusion of happiness, this dopamine hit from excessive drinking. I mean, if you could party as in like dance and talk to people when you're sober or just one drink, maybe that's okay, but also it's a huge trap. Like I was partying a lot in my early 20s and it was a waste of time. I wish I had a family early. Yeah, it's a big trap. Partying isn't that satisfying. It's much better to do you mind doing the dishes? Yeah, that's fine. Sure. I'll do the dishes. There's only a couple anyway. Yeah, maybe we should move out so we can get a dishwasher. I just started feeling tired all of a sudden. Yeah, Katya, what do you think about the idea of working during the week and partying on weekends? Do you think during the week and then just partying on weekends, do you think that's okay balance?
Working during the week and partying on weekends?
Yeah, it's just like, a lot of people, they work Monday to Friday and they're healthy, but then they party on weekends. Do you think that's a good balance?
It depends what kind of partying.
Yeah, it depends what kind of partying. It probably is a bit somber. It's just a bit tired. Got up early today. My wife had a meeting, so I had to look after the baby. And she was at work.
Get up like that.
I know it sounds really bad. I'm like, I had to look after our child when she was at work. Yeah, I think beers with the boys, like, a couple times a year, but not every weekend. Because the thing is, you forget it, like, it's pretty easy to forget, like, all those conversations, like, trust me, I've had beers with the boys, like, 1,000 times, and I probably remember about 7 of them. Like, it's not worth it. Nah, that's not good. Because, you wonder why people are such dickheads in Melbourne. It's because of the nose beers. It takes away your soul. Like, people are just so cunty. It's because of the chemicals they take. Anywho, I might just finish my dinner and do the dishes. No kiss?
I don't want to kiss on camera.
No, fair enough. Yeah, I'll just end it then, Katya.
Why? You get germs or something?
No, he just thinks it's a bit too, like, sexual. Like, a man should focus his sexual energy on his work.
I don't think you should listen to you.
Yeah, I've been...
Not everything he says.
No, well, obviously I don't, like, because he hates Nicholas Fuentes, and I watch him more than Owen Benjamin these days.
Okay, good night.
Sweet dreams, honey. Yeah, I've been very straight-edged. Moved to Victoria, like, what was it now, like 5 months ago. And baby was, like, little, to be with my family, and probably had about 6 glasses of wine, 2 packets of cigarettes in that time. That's the only drugs I've done.
Talk about things that are too private.
Okay. Sure. All I said is that I moved to Victoria 6 months ago and I've only had about 6 glasses of wine in that time.
Just for the future.
Okay. Well, by the way, my wife, when she has too much wine, she gets very aggressive and she beats me up sometimes. That's why I'm talking softly, because if I speak too loud, she comes. Oh, shit. I was just joking, by the way. She only slapped me a few times. But yeah, it sounds pretty different, but I'm trying to be like a moral person, and being a moral person means that you don't go under the influence. Like the most drugs I'll do is a glass of wine, maybe 1.5, maybe a special occasion. I mean, at my wedding in June last year, I must have had about 6 glasses of wine, but I regret that, because I really like thinking about things and remembering things. And when you have alcohol, it's not good for your memory. And to me, memories are all so wonderful. I love to reminisce and analyze situations. And when you're clouded, it's just frustrating, because you can't carefully deconstruct and analyze the events of the social shenanigans. And so I get sad when I think about lost memories. Yeah. I guess it's all part of getting older. Well, a lot of people, that's just too silly thing to say, because actually in Australia, the people who drink the most, women over the age of 55, not drink the most, but they're actually drinking more. The demographic, they're the only demographic over the past 10 years have actually escalated their drinking levels. I think I might leave you guys to it. Thank you very much for your time. Sorry if I was a little bit somber. Just I had to get up early. Lisa, it was in the newspaper, but I promise I wouldn't lie to you, Lisa. I've never lied. I do many things. I may be a little bit emotional sometimes, maybe a little bit judgy, but I've never lied. Never. And I 100%, I'm willing to bet you 100 Australian dollars cash that you can find the statistic that demonstrates that women over the age of 50 are the only... Where's my money? Demographic that have drinking more the last 10 years. They always tell the truth. I'm not woke. I'm actually like a pretty far right person. It's the opposite of woke. I'm very conservative. I believe in traditional family values. I think that men should be protectors and providers, and marriage is between a man and woman, and sex should be only for marriage. And I think that you should have lots of children, and I'm like a nationalist. I believe in loving your country, and being patriotic is good. It's beneficial, and not over the top, but it's a good thing to love your country, because those countries that do seem to do well. I don't believe in communism. Women are drinking more. Why? Because I have family values. I'm not voting because I don't believe in the system. I don't believe in communism. My wife is Russian speaking, and her family went through communism and it wasn't good. Yeah, I think women are drinking more because it's not socially acceptable to tell the truth, and because our society is very antisocial now. Like, it's very hard to meet up with people. It's kind of socially awkward unless you you have like you can get something out of it. I think there's been a lot of propaganda from Netflix and stuff that has trained people to just be very selfish. That's why I never watch any of that stuff. Okay, immigration is part of the factor, but obviously half the reason why immigration is so bad is because white people are too lazy to have kids, and they're too neurotic and selfish, and the economy is so bad because the baby boomers keep hoarding all the wealth. They're the only generation in history to have the majority of wealth. Like, if you study any of human history, no, I don't support One Nations because I'm not a big fan of Indian migration or Israel. Yeah, baby boomers, they're the only ones in history over the age of 65 to have the majority of wealth. That's never ever happened before. It's not natural. You're supposed to pass on the torch, and that's why they're miserable and they're drinking a lot because they have all this ill-gotten wealth. And the reason why there's a housing crisis is because they're greedy. They can always sell a house for less to a young family, but they don't because they want to have more money for cruise ships. And all they do is complain at restaurants and drink 2 bottles of wine. Yeah. Now I'm going to say I'm Jehovah's Witness. Maybe I will become Jehovah's Witness. You never know. My sister's boyfriend, dad is a Jehovah's Witness elder, and he seems like a happy bloke. But some of the things about Jehovah's Witness, not a big fan. Why the fuck are these people always trying to add me to go on? Oh, really? Yeah. Well, look. At least they've got some community. I mean, it beats just an atheist who's at the pub drinking 10 pints every night and watching a stupid football game and, never seeing his kids or whatever. Alright, take it easy, guys.